Yeah, it's going down for real, y'all. The big fish, Mr. Man Down, that nigga with the shag. This past weekend, live in Dallas, he finally came out, got in the ring, and set the record straight and let everybody know he taking Ugas' strap on April the 16th, live in Dallas Cowboys Stadium, and then he's going directly after Terence Crawford, and he taking that WBO strap up off of Terence Crawford. Before we get into this next video, make sure that y'all hit my like button. Make sure that y'all sub to the channel if you ain't already subscribed to the channel. And don't forget, live streams every day, Monday through Friday. And this Monday, tomorrow, y'all, we finna have a live special guest on. It is gonna be lit. So make sure that y'all don't miss the special guest that I'm gonna have on for y'all this Monday. And I'll be on at 12:30 Pacific time, 1:30 Mountain time, 2:30 Central, and that's 3:30 on the East Coast. Hit my like button and check out this next video. Yeah, what's happening with it, y'all? Make sure that y'all hit my like button if you forgot. Now, the truth is finally coming out. Now, we already know that Terence Bud Crawford just came out and did some interviews and let everybody know that the reason that himself and Errol Spence, the reason they ain't fought yet, it ain't got nothing to do with Errol Spence, right? He let everybody know, nah, Errol Spence ain't ducking me. Errol Spence want to fight just like I do. It's the promoters, right? It's the politics of boxing getting in the way. And really, when it's two black fighters, when it's two black superstars, these promotional companies, they want to make every excuse not to make the fight instead of making excuses to make the fight and telling you why the fight should happen. They want to tell you why the fight should happen. So that was T-Bud. And so he came out and finally told the truth himself. But we still hadn't heard from Errol Spence himself. The Errol Spence haters, they were still coming out there making excuses saying Terence Crawford was just saying that Errol Spence don't want to fight him and Errol Spence is still ducking and hiding. But you know, Errol been focused on training. He been focusing on getting fully back to that nigga with the shag. The man back looking like He-Man and abs cut up like a bag of bad dope. Shredded, in shape, tip-top condition. So he been focusing on that. You know what I'm saying? So he go out there and destroy Ugas. He ain't really been focusing on, talking on social media and Twitter and all that stuff. But finally, this weekend, he was at a local event in Dallas, Texas, and he got in the ring and he got on the mic and he let everybody know what he finna do next and what he want to do. And he got in the ring, and I'ma just play the clip and let y'all hear it for y'allself.
And I thank everybody for supporting me. It's been a big comeback. This is my second comeback. And they thought I'd be done, but April 16th, you're going to see it. I'm going to get that WBA belt, so I can be the IBF WBC champion of the world. And then we're going to go get the other one, too. Go unify! And I thank everybody for supporting me. It's been a big comeback. This is my second comeback. And they thought I'd be done, but April 16th, you're going to see it. I'm going to get that WBA belt, so I can be the IBF WBC champion of the world. And then we're going to go get the other one, too. Go unify!
Y'all heard it for y'allself. That man just let y'all know for the umpteenth time exactly what he gonna do. You heard him say, hey, I'm gonna go take this WBA strap from Ugas, and then I'm going straight after Terence Crawford for that other belt. Straight after that other belt. That's what I'm doing. So if he ain't had no intentions on fighting no Terence Crawford, he wouldn't have said that. He wasn't forced to say that. He wouldn't ask to say that, right? He took the mic and he let everybody know because he tired of y'all talking. You know what I'm talking about? He want all of the smoke. How many times I gotta tell you, this man is doing exactly what he been saying he was gonna do for years. He set out the groundwork years ago and he about to complete the task real soon in 2022. You feel me? He gonna complete the task in 2022. He told y'all years ago exactly what he was gonna do. Hey, I'm gonna clear my side of the street. I'm gonna get all the belts that's on my side of the street. And then I'm gonna go see Terence Crawford. And we gonna get it on and make the biggest fight in boxing. And it's gonna happen, y'all. Now I'm starting to see that Terence Crawford is starting to realize that he gonna have to sign with the PBC. Like I've been telling y'all, he kind of realized that now. And he ain't really got nowhere else to go for the big fights. You feel me? Terence Crawford ain't really got nowhere else to go. And he understand to make this fight happen, he gonna have to sign with the PBC. And Errol Spence know that himself. You feel me? As much as these fighters want to tell you that they own bosses, that the promoters do what they say, it sound good, but it ain't really like that. You feel me? These promoters do what's gonna make them the most money. And these promoters, you know what I'm saying, they really running shit because ain't none of these fighters finna take their own bag and put their money together and make big mega events, right? Errol Spence ain't finna take his own money and without Al Heyman go off and buy out the Dallas Cowboy venue, you know what I'm saying, rent that out and make a big mega fight with himself and Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford ain't gonna do it neither. You feel me? So they need the promoters, okay. They need these promoters to put up their bread and do the business for them, right? And a lot of times these promoters, they have their own agendas and they don't want to do the business. So, you know, a fighter like a Errol Spence or Terence Crawford, all they could do is go to the promotional company and, you know, behind the scenes push for it. But if the promoters ain't willing to put up the bread and do what it takes to make the fight happen, right, they can't do nothing about that. So, you know, all of this shit got to do with politics. Terence Crawford, yeah, he wanted to fight, but he ain't always moved how he was supposed to move to make the fight happen. Nobody told Terence Crawford to re-sign with Top Rank, knowing how Top Rank and PBC and these promotional companies do business, right? Nobody told Terence Crawford not to want to go sit down and talk to Al Heyman. So yeah, he wanted to fight, but he wasn't doing what he had to do on the business side correctly. And Errol Spence, you know, he been doing exactly what he said he was gonna do. And he did everything to make his name bigger. Fight Mikey Garcia, you know what I'm talking about? Fight Sean Porter, fighting Danny Garcia. Taking the fights and doing what's necessary to make his name bigger. So yeah, you know, I ain't got nothing bad to say about Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is an excellent fighter in the ring. Inside the ring, Terence Crawford done everything he was supposed to do with the opponents that was put in front of him. But yeah, we all know he wasn't able to get none of them big fights like Errol Spence was getting because he was with Top Rank. But it was his decision to re-sign with Top Rank, knowing all of the smoke was over there on PBC. And so y'all ain't never heard me go with the narrative and say that Terence Crawford was scared to fight these certain fights. I don't believe that Terence Crawford ever been scared of nobody. But I believe that his business just ain't been right. And on the other hand, Errol Spence, he ain't scared to fight nobody. But his business has always been A1. You feel me? That's the biggest difference between Terence Crawford and Errol Spence is the business, right? While Errol Spence is able to do what he say, right? That he say that he was gonna do from years back, and Terence Crawford ain't been able to do these certain things. But now Terence Crawford has the ability to do all of these things in this last part of his career. But all he got to do, like I continue to tell y'all, is go over to PBC and sign on that dotted line and get it cracking. And yeah, at this point, he might have to take less than what he feels that he's worth, right? But hey, sometimes you got to do that to make things happen. And the money that these fighters is gonna get on the back end is more money than Errol Spence has ever got, and is way more money than Terence Crawford has ever got in his career. So make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Make the fight happen, and this is a legacy fight. Terence Crawford got to sign on that dotted line with PBC because he still needs that legacy fight. Right? Make it happen. Both these fighters still need a big, huge legacy fight. To when we talk about Terence Crawford 30 years from now, when we talk about Errol Spence 30 years from now, this is the fight that we gonna talk about. Don't nobody want to hear about no Terence Crawford move up to 147 pounds and beat Jeff Horn. Ain't nobody gonna remember Jeff Horn 30, 40 years from now. You feel me? He needs that legacy fight on his record. Y'all can continue to talk about, oh, he can retire now and he can go to the Hall of Fame. That's cool. But like I continue to tell y'all, Sylvester Stallone is in the Hall of Fame. Don't nobody go to the Hall of Fame to see, oh man, let me see what fighters in the Hall of Fame. Nobody go by that, right? We go to see what fighters had they fought. What, right? We remember them by the fighters that they fought. We remember Sugar Ray Leonard for fighting Roberto Duran and Tommy Hearns and Marvin Hagler. You dig what I'm saying? Those are legacy-defining fights. We remember Evander Holyfield for fighting Riddick Bowe and Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson and Big George Foreman and so on. Those are legacy-defining fights. If Evander Holyfield, if the biggest fight on his resume was Bobby Ches or something like that, we wouldn't remember Evander Holyfield no matter how good his record was when he retired, or whoever it may be. We remember these fighters by the fights that they was in. And Terence Crawford still needs that fight on his resume. He knows that, and everybody around him know that, whether they want to admit it or not. You feel me? So they need to make this fight happen. And y'all, I really believe that this fight is going to happen this year, 2022. And it's going to go down. And it might be, you know what I'm saying, a rematch. It might be a trilogy fight. They might fight all the way up to 154 pounds. But this is the fight that we need in 2022. This is the biggest fight that can happen in boxing, y'all. And I'm looking forward for Errol the True Spence to make it happen and Terence Crawford to sign on the dotted line with PBC and make it happen. Anyway, let me know what y'all think about this. Hit my like button, and y'all already know what it is. There you go, talking that boxing again, and I'm gone.